I'm gonna walk you guys through everything that I kind of know right now on how to become a remote closer. Right, I've just dropped a YouTube video on explaining everything right now, but this is gonna be a masterclass session on exactly how to do that. Right, so I hope you guys get some value from this. I hope you guys have a good understanding as well. So, number one, I want you guys to understand that sales isn't something you're gonna learn overnight. Just like anything you do, if you want to get ripped in the gym, if you want to lose weight, it's not gonna happen overnight. But with consistency and attention to detail on actually mastering these certain skills, you'll get to where you want to be. Right. So with sales, right, you got to understand that your communication skills need to improve, right? Wherever you are at with sales, whether it's your pacing and the way you communicate, the way you have a presence with someone, your communication skills need to improve, right? So everything you need in here is kind of the foundations of understanding sales, number one. So, number one, improve your communication skills, whether it's just talking to people in general, whether it's just opening your mouth and having a conversation with people where you're conservative enough to actually hold that conversation, right? Number two, objection handling, right? You need to make sure that you know how to handle objection, right? When someone comes to you and you don't know how to handle that sort of situation, could be anything in life, doesn't have to be with sales. But if you're able to objection handle that, or you're able to put it back onto the prospect, because that's number one, right? You need to always put it back on the prospect, so it's in their hands to talk about it instead of you explaining it. That's number two. I'll talk about that later on in the track, but sales psychology, number one, you got to understand why this person buys, right? Ask yourself again, why do you buy a product? Why do you buy that new shoe, or why do you buy that new clothes? One, you would have saw someone else wear it, so that's once again marketing. Two, it appeals to who you are as a person. So if you can put yourself in someone else's shoes every time it comes to a prospect, or every time it comes to remote closing in itself, then you'll be able to understand, okay, I understand this person because I'm in their shoes right now, right? They're only going to buy it because they see a future value in what they're going to get in the future, right? If they buy right now, it's because they see the future value in it. If they don't buy right now, you're going to need to learn how to objection handle. You're going to learn how to, all right, bro. So let me get a understanding of you. You see this working out for you? Yes? No? Okay. Why, bro? Why don't you see it working? Oh, you see it working? Okay. Why, bro? I mean, what's stopping you from getting started then, bro? This is going to be a lot of repetitive stuff, but I'm just going to break it down pretty simple for you guys. Okay? That's sales 101. Okay, so you need to understand communication skills. That's what you need to understand. You need to understand how to objection handle. Number two, you need to understand sales psychology as well. You need to understand your prospect, which is the most important thing. Okay? Now, step two, once you've mastered this, right? This won't happen overnight, but once you do master it, right? Step two is find the right job in the right market. Okay? Job boards is something like remote remote sales jobs on Seek, on LinkedIn, and remote.co. So these are three jobs right here where you can all find a position with a remote sales job. Right? Remote sales job, there's offers going for $150,000 to $225,000 per year. Right? I can even let me search up appointment setting. Search that up. We 65,000 to $75,000 per year plus commissions as an appointment setter, right? This has nothing to do with remote closing, but it's remote work at the end of the day, right? So I search up remote closing. I could spell it right. Jobs. 70,000 to 85,000 per year. 180,000, 270,000 per year. Sales representative, work from home, drive massive growth for trades business, right? Now, there's the demand is all here, right? The demand for work is here. The only issue is no one is good enough to actually land these roles, which is why skills is where it's the most important thing, right? Skills is where you're gonna learn everything. Once you've mastered a skill like sales, once you master a skill like sales, once again, right? number one step before you even land a role is make sure you understand sales. If you don't have a good skill set in sales, you won't even get to the point of landing these roles, right? Which is why if you guys want that in-depth one-on-one on how to learn sales, just message me the word sales after this call, and then we'll be able to work together on how to do that, right? Number two, if you guys could right now, I know we're in the middle of this session at the moment, but right now, all take a photo of this session, put it on your stories, and screen and pull my Instagram app, and I'll give you guys a shout out as well. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes to do that. I'll pause the recording right now. Um, that's the wrong recording. Yeah, resume. So where was I at? I was at number two, right? You guys need to understand that the market right now is in demand of remote jobs. So you can see on seek.com, you can see on LinkedIn, you can see on remote.co as well. But at the moment, none of you guys are skilled or skilled enough to actually land these jobs. Hey, shout out my boy Kobe McDowell White though. NBL one champ. Oh, NBL champ. Not even NBL one, bro. These big bigs. Anyways, right. Just need to stop mucking around. But yeah, like you guys can see. We need to learn sales first. Second, we need to find a job. So we can find a job in sales agencies. We can find a job in direct outreach and networking. So networking, you actually need to build a personal brand. So this is why job boards is the most important one right now because you don't need to build a personal brand to have the networking process. Direct outreach, you can send a message, but once again, you need a direct personal brand to have a solid foundation for that. Sales agency, once again, you need a personal brand for you to actually reach out to city sales agencies. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but you do need a resume to back you up, which is why bringing it back to sales once again, you need to make sure that you understand sales 101. Okay? So, for you guys who aren't skilled enough and don't have that personal brand ready up and going for use, this is where job boards will come into place. So, seek.com, LinkedIn, and remote.co. We didn't go deeper into remote.co, but you can see right here, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, all these jobs are lined up for you, ready to go. Okay, now step three is how to get on a good offer. So we identified now that we need to learn sales. Wait, this is so we identified, right? We need to, number one, learn sales. Number two, find a right job market. From that job market, we'll have it on job boards because that's how you can do it without having a personal brand. The other three, you do need a personal brand, but what we want is how to do it right now. Okay. Now I want to show you how to get a good offer. So you need to understand a good offer and the difference between a good offer and a bad offer. Okay. The difference is pretty much right here. Pretty self-explanatory, right? A good offer is a high ticket price, good offer has inbound leads, and a good offer also has a proven system. So if an offer doesn't have any testimonials about other people being successful, and you can kind of see the testimonials are proof that this works, cut it out, right? Cut it out. If they don't have inbound leads, so it's outbound leads, and you have to cold outreach them, it's a bad offer. If the pricing of the offer itself is like $500 or below 1,000, below 2,000, below anything below 2,000 considered a bad offer, right? So once again, how you can identify a good offer is understanding does it have a proven system? Does it have inbound leads? And does it have a high ticket pricing? A bad offer, low ticket pricing, no warm leads, and no proven system. That's how you can kind of identify it, right? So is it a good offer if there's low ticket pricing? No. Is there warm leads? Do you have to outbound them? Bad offer. No proven system, nothing to back them up. It's a bad offer. You can kind of see it based off that, right? Now, once we've pretty much identified everything, right? We've identified that, hold on. We've identified that step one, you need to learn sales. Step two, there's a high demand in remote work right now, and you can learn that from our job boards. Okay. Step two, you can still land these other jobs if you have a good personal brand to be able to reach out to sales agencies direct outreach and networking. Step three, how to identify a good offer and a bad offer. And step four is pretty much how you nail the interview and get hired. Okay. So if it's a bad offer, run from it. If it's a good offer, you're going to get interviewed and you're going to see if you're actually acquired for this offer, right? So how do you actually go about it? How would I go about it? Number one, let's get your sales. The person you're going to be interviewed with is interviewing you for a reason to see if you're trained up enough. So I wouldn't even jump on a session if you don't feel confident within yourself. Because you're going to get asked questions that you probably don't even know if you don't even want to get to that level. Right? Number two, make sure that whatever you've been taught or whatever you're confident in, be confident in that, right? Focus on that one specific thing that you're confident in and say it like you own it, right? Don't be like, oh yeah, I think I'm a good fit. I think yeah, I'm maybe be good because what's that gonna do, right? It's gonna make the person who you're on an interview with think that you're not good enough because you're not confident in who you're actually talking to, right? So that's how you're gonna nail your interview. Be yourself, be authentic, but also be confident, right? That's how you're gonna get hired on these remote jobs that are all here for you, right? Once again, I can search up 90 million jobs going remote by 2030. Digital jobs can be performed remotely from anywhere where analyzed in the new release World Economic Forum white paper, The Rise of Global Digital Jobs by 2030. These global jobs digital are estimated to go around 25% to over 90 million roles by 2030. See, I'm telling you guys, the demand for remote work is there. It's just there's no supply for us to be actually trained and skilled enough to actually land these roles, right? So make sure what I want you guys to take away from this is what do I need to do in order to be prepared for the opportunity that's around the corner, right? That's the main thing for everyone that's on this session. Secondly, how can I nail my interviews, or how can I even land a role first, or identify a good role, identify a bad role, and then go from there, right? So make sure, once again, I'm gonna replay it back every single time because I want to make sure you guys got a value from this session, right? Number one, we need to learn sales. Number two, we need to find the right job on the market. Okay, job boards, we can find out without having a personal brand. Sales agencies, direct outreach, and networking. You need a personal brand for that. Step three, get a good offer, right? You can identify a good and a bad offer. Then from there, you need to nail the interview and get hired, right? You're going to get a closing. I will provide you guys with a closing guide, but in sales, there's no such things as a script, right? You're mainly talking to someone like how I've been talking to you guys. I haven't had a single script. I've been talking off the top of my head, and everything's just been having a good understanding of everything, right? So make sure you guys understand that, and we can go from there. But for now, I will just ask if you guys have any questions and run it up from there, pretty much, guys. Um, yeah. Hold on, let me stop recording.